All right, here's two questions that are looking about linear functions. So the first one is saying determine the slope. So they give us this function. So it's written as f of x equals 7 plus 2x. Typically we write that differently. We change the order of these just to make sure it's written in descending order. Now, when you write a linear function, we have played lots with this equation. So instead of the f of x, we put a y there. And so if it's written in this format, which this equation is now, whatever's in front of the x is the slope. So if they say determine the slope is 2. The next one is already in that format, y equals mx plus b. It's already in that format, so whatever's in front of the x, so in this case it's negative 1/2, that is what the slope is. They're not asking for this, but if they want to know what the y-intercept is, in this case the y-intercept would be 4. In this case up here, the y-intercept would be 7. You should be able to graph each of those too. So if the y-intercept, say for this one, is 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, there's my y-intercept. And then the slope, the top number is the rise, and the bottom number is the run. So this, and I have to put the negative somewhere. Let's put the negative up top here instead of being in the middle. So if the rise is -1, that means I'm going to fall 1 from the point that I have there already. From this point, I'm going to fall 1, and then I'm going to go 2 to the right. So 1, 2. So I'm going to go right to there. That's another point that's on the graph. From that point, I could drop 1 and go over another 2, and it should meet in the same spot. So that's how you could graph it. They didn't ask for that, but that's how you could graph it. In this next question, they're saying find the average rate of change. So rate of change is asking for what the slope is. So the slope, this one is falling, so I know the slope is negative, but then I have to know how much it falls for how much it goes over to the right. So if I look at this, it looks like it's starting at 20 and it's going down to 5, right? So it's falling that far. So it's falling. Let me get rid of this negative sign here. I'll put the negative up here. So it's falling 15 units for every, now let's see how far it goes over. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, for every 5 that it goes over to the right. I'm not sure what this +0 means. +0. Anyway, it falls 15 and it goes over 5. So the run would be 5. So there's my slope, or my average rate of change would be, it would fall 15 over 5. I could simplify that to -3 over 1, or I could just write it as -3. Another way you could have done that, again, I'm not sure what this +0 is. We'll just disregard it. Another way you could have done it is found that point. That point is 0 and 20, and this point here is 5 and 5, and use the slope formula. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I just like to rewrite it with brackets. This would be x1, y1, this x2 and y2. So y2 is a 5, minus y1 is a 20, over x2 is a 5, minus x1 is a 0. So on the top I get -15, on the bottom I get 5, same thing as I had there. So the slope, or the average rate of change, will be -3. Hopefully that helps you with those 3 slope questions.